Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. I'm moving on to the final details on this piece that I've been working on for a long time now. I'm on to part 16 as far as streaming my progress goes. I finally dug out this first piece in this series that I finished, the first and only one that has been finished. This is my January Gryphon. What I needed to see was how I did the border on this one, because I want these all to be as similar as possible. Oh wow, I didn't notice I put even metallic on these flowers here. What I wanted to see most was whether I put Inktense pencil on the border. Because I can't remember anymore. These take so much effort that it's so much work and so long, so much time, that it's impossible to remember every little thing I did. But looking at it now, it does look like I put Inktense pencil on first, and then I added metallic acrylic on the top to make it like glittery or shimmery. So, seeing that, I decided to get started early before I even started streaming today. And it looks like the camera's not picking it up very well, as usual, but I already finished adding some pencil to this side of the border, and I'm now on the bottom. The color I'm using is, let's see, 310, is this one. So I thought, I wanted this whole, even though this is meant to represent February, so we're still in winter here where I live in February, and so it might be a cold time, but like as far as the weather is concerned, but I wanted it to have a warm feeling because, you know, this Gryphon is building a nest, it's hoping to start its family and all that stuff. So, and of course I did all these hearts and everything because I wanted to bring in the idea of Valentine's Day as well. So I decided to go for a warmer colored metallic. I was thinking something, if it ended up looking like rose gold or something, then that would be good. So what I have is I either have 3 or 4 metallic paints to choose from, and I don't really want to spend money buying more, so I'm just going to stick with those throughout this whole 12-piece series, and just hopefully I'll end up, and if I do have 3 or 4, if I plan it out really well, I can use each one. If there's 4 colors, then I can use each one 3 times, or if there's 3 colors, I can use each one 4 times. And then that way throughout the whole series, the different metallic borders will be used an even amount of times. I just love that kind of balance, so that'll be great. But so far I'm really pleased with how this color is coming out. It works well, I think, with the color of the nest, with the color of the Gryphon, but it doesn't seem to be, at least to me so far, doesn't seem to be taking away from this, because it is just the border. It's not supposed to be a point of focus. It's just there for decoration. So I'm going to go back to finishing off this pencil work. I figured out, I did a little experiment here, so I'm going to try and make sure to do it the same way over on this side, because they're literally mirror images of one another. But I figured out how I want to do it even more down here. So I'll do it this way up here. It's just a little difference where on some of these I put the pencil all the way down this line, but I like it much better when I only put it in the V shape and not bring it down the line. So, get back to work here. I'm starting adding the water, I start at the side that doesn't have any pigment down and get that wet first, and then bring the water down, and that way I get a really nice even gradient of color, since the pigment will spread out fairly evenly if there's already water for it to reach into. Another thing I figured out doing this side is that I need to go back and forth, because this needs to dry before I move on to this section, or else this dry pigment right here will bleed into the wet areas in this section. Oops, I touched it. And I don't want that to happen, because then it's not this nice gradient from dark to light in each little section. That's what I'm trying to get. Let's see, I'll go over here next. I'm using this larger brush because I really need a lot of water, and using the smaller ones has been... I tried them at first thinking, well, they can get into these little corners better, but it was annoying because they wouldn't hold enough water, and I couldn't get the water down before it started drying a little bit. Getting really excited. I don't know how long I actually have until this is completely done, but having the coloring pretty much done is just a huge step, because just simply laying down all the color takes so long. And the details, I don't have to put the details everywhere, I just put the details where I want attention. So there's not much longer. I'm well over halfway done with this now, that's for sure. I did have a thought that I probably will use a bit more pencil to add some blue and purple shadows, because I just like to do that on in any media. It just makes the picture look more robust and more deep and more interesting. So I'd like to go through in just a few places, add in maybe like the inside of this flower, that kind of thing, just here and there. Like, I don't know if I'd do it anywhere on here because there's just already so much pigment, but places that are lighter where you might actually see it, put something in there just to add some variety. But I gotta get this border done first. As usual, it was like the planning fallacy. I thought, oh yeah, I could get this done in half an hour before I start streaming, so that I don't have to use the pencils anymore. Nope. Even though it's simple enough, it just takes a little while to do this. It's always what happens. Feels like because it's a simple thing to do, it won't take very long, but it just does not work that way. Got a little bit much water here. Not too much water, or else it will go out of bounds, go where I don't want it. It's one of those things that at least in my experience, I just learned it because I because I experimented and practiced for so long with watercolor. It's not something that I might actively think of teaching someone if they wanted me to teach them. Though if I taught them just by doing the piece along with me, or we both did a piece together, even if they were different, I'd probably think to mention it at that point. It's not drying as fast as I want. These are all still wet, so I'm going to put a little pencil on the side while I wait for these to dry. Alright, I wanted to make sure I did this the same as the other side, even though I don't want to do this overall. You just gotta match. Little pencil up there. Hello, stressed out monk. Thank you for coming again today to my channel. Okay, I'll teach you. Probably already teaching you a little bit, just because I don't know what to say, so I end up explaining stuff. And you're always watching my streams. Yeah, these are taking a long time to dry down here. I think because it's bigger area. Anyway, Monk, how are you doing today? It's a nice Thursday for me. Looking forward to Friday. Ugh, though my back hurts more than it did yesterday. Gotta move my lamp a little bit. It's in front of the camera. There. Need it so that my hand isn't casting a shadow on my own workspace. Need to see what I'm doing. Aw, thank you for the compliment. You're so nice to me. I'm glad you're doing well. I mean, it's only been a day, so I hope there'd be no big change, but only been a day since our last chat. How am I? I'm pretty good. I finally made the decision that, I don't know if you joined when I was talking to myself about it yesterday, but I decided to take a complete break from all my physical activity stuff, which is actually really hard, and I really don't like it, but my foot is just not healing, and I think it's because taking it easy is not the same as giving it a complete rest. And after posting about it on Facebook, because I was feeling so torn, I realized I wasn't doing a lot of the stuff I should have been doing anyway, like stretching really well and putting ice on it. Like, the ice thing was a big thing. So, like, I've got a soft ice pack wrapped to my foot right now. Because I really want this to heal. It's so annoying. It just hurts all the time. And, like, the smallest thing, like, I feel like I should be able to go on an hour-long walk, a leisurely stroll, to play Pokemon Go. But no, like, my foot hurts for the rest of the day. I can't even go on a walk. So, feeling kind of frustrated about that, but also determined. Like, I made a checklist of all the stuff I need to do. I'm not gonna just quit exercising. Instead of exercising, I'm going to use those times to put my ice pack on and do my stretches and roll out my muscles and all the stuff that all my fitness buddies have told me to do since I vented on Facebook yesterday. As long as you're breathing and have all your limbs functioning, you're fairly positive. That's good. That's actually really good. Some people aren't. It's actually kind of hard for some people. Kind of frustrating for me when they're like my friends and family. I'm like, be grateful, whatever. I'm glad you're a positive person. I like positive people. I think they bring good things to themselves and to everyone around them. That's why I try to be positive too. Is this dry yet? Yeah, it's still a little wet. Wasn't taking this long earlier to dry. Not this one. I guess I just put too much water down right here. So this one's dry right here. Even though I just did it. And I don't pay attention as much when I'm streaming to my water level in my brush. So before this, I was just listening to Megalobox soundtrack before I started streaming. But I don't want any copyright issues or whatever, so I turned it off from my stream. Oh, that's a cool idea. Vibration therapy. I believe I've heard of that before. But I have so much stuff on my checklist already. I'm going to try this stuff first. I think the reason I didn't keep up with all this stuff I was supposed to be doing, I even forgot about it. It's because it's just like such a big list. The things I did remember is whenever I did a big workout, I would always stretch, but I didn't stretch after like going for a walk because it didn't cross my mind that that was something I should do. But now, in hindsight, I'm like, I probably should have been stretching after everything. And like wrapping your foot with ice is so inconvenient. You can't go anywhere. Or putting your foot in an ice bath, but there's no way I'm doing that. Like, ooh, my feet get so cold on their own anyway. Now, I've got a checklist of 4 things in the morning and 5 things in the evening. So I'm trying to, I actually made a checklist, like it's in my Google Docs, so that I don't forget to do this stuff. And I put it in my Habitica morning routine and evening routine, so hopefully I'll remember to go look at the list and do it. I haven't done stretching yet today. That's one thing so far, is I took ibuprofen. That's what my doctor actually told me to do. Take some ibuprofen to reduce the inflammation. And I rolled my foot and my calf and everything in between to stretch that stuff out, stretch and massage it. And then now I've got the ice pack on. I just need to do stretches after streaming. I hope I remember. Gotta remember to stretch. So I want to make this period of rest as short as possible. I'm going to start with 4 weeks and then go back to exercising and see how I feel. Peaceful piano music 24/7. For your streams, Is that what you're saying? Is that where you get your stream music? When I first started streaming, I looked at the Twitch like Spotify collaboration thing where they had official music that's allowed. But none of them were stuff that I want to listen to while making art, you know? I think, unfortunately for me, the thing that inspires me the most when making art is soundtracks. So it's always going to be like copyright violation if I play it. Well, I'll go check that out then. Peaceful piano music 24/7. That sounds similar to what I just listened to all day in the house. I have all the radios in the house tuned to the public radio classical station. I just always have that on. I was always relaxing in my house. I don't have it on in my workroom here though. I always play more energetic stuff. Keep myself awake and productive. Oh gosh, even my forearm muscles are sore from yesterday's workout. That's good though, at least I'll end my temporary last week of exercise with working as hard as I can. Maybe that's bad for my foot, but it's actually my upper body that's super sore this week, so it's probably not too bad for my foot. It's kind of annoying. What really seemed to start hurting my foot a lot in the last couple weeks was I just started going on more walks, and like I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle a 45-minute walk per day. It just makes me feel pathetic. Especially when I want to start training for my first 10K race. Ah! Chanting the whole time you stream. That would be quite a feat, actually, at least from my point of view, because that would take a lot of concentration. I feel like if I tried that, I would just start forgetting. I'd either get into my art too much and forget the ohms, or I'd just sort of like get so into the ohms and like hypnotize myself, and everyone would be like, what's happening? And there'd be nothing happening. My hands like still, whatever, but you can hear the chanting still. I don't think I could focus on both. That would be intense. Especially because I think you usually stream for a lot longer than I do. That's super intense. That would be funny though. You'd have to announce it as like an event. Announce it a week ahead of time. Big event. Om stream. Om art stream. Meditation art stream. I haven't looked at my notes from this piece, but I think that originally I wanted to do the border blue and red alternating, because these designs were based off of the veins, the major veins and arteries that come off of the heart, the way they branch like this, and that's why it's these branches and they're overlapping and stuff. But I think this is better, because I think doing red and blue alternating would be distracting, and I don't want attention to go to the border first. It's not the most important thing. It's like an afterthought. It needs to be something that people look at after they notice the whole picture. And then if they want to look at it some more, they'll notice all the other details. That's what I want it to be. Almost done with this. Just need to do the top. Just need to do the top now. I'm going to smooth this out a little bit more. This is looking kind of cool. With this color on it, it kind of reminds me of like a woven bracelet or something. Didn't think of that until I got this orangey color on it. Oh, it looks so weird upside down. Ooh. It's like disorienting because I've been looking at it for so long. Okay, here we go. Last bit of border. I guess I can do this whole side. What do I do here? I guess I'll have it radiate out from the smaller point on each side. Yes, I think that's good. Have them be opposite. You have a large lung capacity, so your Om chanting has improved. That's cool. You should do it then. You should do it. I think it could be fun. Maybe you could just stream for a shorter time if it gets too tiring, but that would certainly be interesting. I think that no one will have done that before. I've never heard of it. Meditation art stream. I started like imagining a group stream and everybody's doing it together, and it's just like wherever you turn, all the art channels are meditating, chanting. I think that's good. Wow, this just looks so different upside down. Border, border, border. The big reason I was hoping to finish this before I started streaming was because I didn't want to have to rummage around for my supplies while I'm live, but oh well, it's just going to have to be how it is. Because all the different stuff I'm going to need is all over in different drawers and cabinets and stuff in here. If you want to scare everyone off, well then maybe it would be good for Halloween. Make it a scary one. You're all chanting, and then you're like drawing something, I don't know, super creepy, like a Asian style ghost horror monster thing, you know, like the Ring style, chanting the whole time. You could have like some sort of wind blowing soundtrack in the background. Maybe like a distant bell ringing. Just imagining all this scary stuff. It's easy. It's getting easy to imagine this happening. To imagine this event. I think it doesn't help that I'm already kind of longing for autumn. Even though we're not even halfway through summer yet. One of us. Scary Halloween. Oh man, that makes me think of the two drawing challenges that I've off and on tried to do in October. The Inktober and then the Drawloween. It's dry. This one's dry. I've never been, because I only started streaming this year, so I've never done those live before. Maybe I'd actually be able to keep up with it. There's not been a single year yet that I have been able to get my Inktober and or my Drawloween drawing done every day on the appropriate day throughout the whole month of October. But if I focus my streams on that, maybe I could do it. I wonder if there's free Halloween music I could play. Play creepy music. Not too creepy though. I don't like horror stuff like torture movies and whatever. I don't like that. I like ghost story type of stuff where it's oh, what's happening? Oh my god, or whatever. And it's really makes you think about what the heck is happening, and there's always this unexplained thing, it's just beyond human reckoning. I love that kind of stuff. Glad I did the top last for this border, because now I really know what I'm doing, and I feel like I at least always look at the top first. I always start from the top down. So hopefully people will look at the top of this piece first and see the nice best side of the border before noticing anything else. Well, not anything else, but any other part of the border. Ooh, what are you working on right now? I know you were one of my first viewers, and you're the only one who stuck around through my little hiatus that I had. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I have you. My Twitch friend. Maybe since I won't be doing as much physical activity stuff, I'll have more time to catch people's Twitch streams too. Especially when I'm just having to stretch my freaking foot and leg, and I'm sitting here with a ice pack wrapped on my foot, so I can't do anything. It's the perfect time to watch streams. And I really like how this top part turned out. Yes, I love it. This is why I like art, when I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just so fun, it's so exciting. I cannot get to this point until I work really hard and work through the difficult things. When I first streamed this piece, and I had been stuck on drawing the nest on the sketch, and I'd been putting it off, procrastinating it for over a year, or almost a year. I think it wasn't over, but it was almost a year. But streaming, I just did it, got it done, and I moved on. And doing the inking was tedious, and a lot of this coloring was actually tedious. Just doing it every day for a little bit. And now I'm finally to this point, and I can only get to this point after all of that hard work. This is the best point. It's so fun doing the details at the end that just make it pop and make it come to life. Makes it all worth it. And then I'll get it framed, and it'll look even cooler, and the paper won't be bending anymore because it'll be framed down, pressed down in the frame. Oh, I wish my back wasn't hurting though. That's annoying. Man, the top part is just coming out so good. Oh, let me see what you're working on. Let me click this. Oh, I saw this on the Discord. Or I think that's where I saw it. I saw it somewhere. Yeah, dude, that is super creepy. What is it? What is this scary monster? And then this person looks sad, but they also look scary themselves. Oh, there's a little face in the tree. You need to tell me what that is. Aw, yeah, we can grow together. Started streaming at the same time. Yes, let us continue to grow and support each other. I love that. That's like a manga plot or something. Twitch friends. That's something I was really hoping to achieve through Twitch, is just connect with people. Because my old channels just don't work anymore. Like DeviantArt used to be, and I mean a long time ago, used to be the place to make friends who are working on art, who you could share with and grow with and help each other. And now it's just like everybody just faves everything and moves on. Like there's no community. Even though the people who run it always try to make it like there is, but if you want community there, you have to put in so much effort. And for a while I did. I tried really hard. I joined groups and I was always posting, and it was just so one-sided. So now I just use it to, it's sort of an archive because I've put my art on there for so long that it's got like the last 14 years of my artwork and my progress and my skills. And then of course I've been a member so long that my shop there is free, though actually I think they made it free for everyone again. But I figure I may as well put stuff there in case anybody wants to buy it. Not that anyone ever has, other than my lovely grandma, who always supported me so much. She would buy my art and commission me for new art, and she'd buy my prints and everything. But she's gone now. It's kind of hard because she was always a big supporter of my life, not just my art. And I really look up to her even now. I remember things she told me and really good life advice. She really lived. She had a very interesting life. Oh no, that's so sad. That's like, no, don't harvest, unless they grow back, then I guess that's okay. But that's such a sad story, harvesting the fairy's wings. Oh, I feel bad for it now. I feel bad for the fairy in your picture. Especially because it's scary, because since it's scary looking, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very certified humane fairy harvest. What is that? Is that... I think I need to pull a little more color out of the middle of this one. None of these are quite the same, these little innermost parts, but I think that actually, adds to the charm of the traditional physical media, so I'm fine with that. Aw, you make it so the wings grow back. That's good. At least the fairy can still have their, what do they, I don't know what they use their wings for. Have their living. They use it for their job. Aw, your goal is to make the world a better place one smile at a time. That is so good. That's how I feel too. No wonder we met up on Twitch. We have a lot of similar art goals. It's perfect. It's like we are a great art match. So that's like, I know some people make art and they use it as, what's the word? Catharsis or something like that, or, you know, they make really violent or dark art as a way to express their inner turmoil or whatever. And it's not that I don't think that's legitimate, like that is a thing to do, and I'm sure it's helpful for them, but for me, even though I have darkness to deal with as well, I would rather not put it on other people to deal with. I would rather help other people feel better. And then also by focusing on positive stuff, I feel better too, instead of wallowing in misery and sorrow and whatnot. I always like to try to turn it into something positive somehow. Okay. I need to move this piece out of the way. And don't fall down. Lean it against my table leg, hope it doesn't fall. Ah, what happened? Where did my reference image go? My reference image. I guess I don't need it right now. Had it on the amethysts. But I don't think I'm ready to go on to highlights. On the amethysts, I'm going to add little white highlights. But I'm not ready to do that. That's one of the last things I'm going to work on. I want to finish working with the dang pencil, so I'll be all done. So, I wanted to add, I don't even really have a light blue on here. Should I add blue though, or should I do my normal purple? But there's so much purple already. I want to add my colorful shadows. Maybe I will do a blue. Let's test some blues and see what they look like. I'm running out of room on here. Oh no, that's way too dark. Maybe something lighter. I thought it would be lighter, because, like, look at this. It doesn't match at all. Oh well. What's this one? Ooh, I use this a lot in my January one. You can tell because its tip is all worn down. But I used it for the sky. Oh wow, that's such a cool story. That phoenixes don't just respawn, gaming terms. They don't just respawn on their own, they require the help of a fairy. Oh, and the witch is going to steal them. Interesting. That is a super interesting story. I like that. I like that there's a big story behind that piece. That's super cool. Now, instead of being, at first it was scary, and then it was sad, and now it feels like an adventure story or something. I don't know about this. This might be too light. I need something in between these two. What's this? Seems like it'll be super dark. Iron blue, no. Ooh. At least the tip on this one is really... Oh, aquamarine it says. I don't know about aquamarine. Nah. Dang, this is a lot harder to choose than with colored pencils, but maybe it's because I do this with colored pencils more often. This one says it's called bright blue, even though this is one of the darkest color indicators of all these pencils. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So you're going to add the phoenix. Cool. Is it all going to be black and white or grayscale like it is now? Oh, this is what I want. This is the color I want. Or are you going to like add color? Like what I imagined when you said that, when you said you're going to be drawing the phoenix laying there beginning to revive. I imagine that the phoenix would be the only thing with color. And, you know, not too much, because if it's beginning to revive, but then it's like also reflecting that color onto the stuff around it in the environment and everything. I don't know if you're going to do that, but that's what I imagined. Okay, the whole thing's going to be in color. Either way, it looks really cool. I'm just imagining how it's going to play out. I guess I'll see it when you're done. 1,000, okay. Now, for this I'm just going to take the color off of the pencil. I'm not going to actually draw on the page with it, because I don't want any lines. I just want the color only. No texture. Blah. I don't need very much of this either, just a little bit. Yes, 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 yes. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Using grayscale method to make sure the contrast isn't harsh. That's something I try really hard to keep in mind. Like with this piece and with the one I worked on before it in the same series, it's like I wanted to make sure that even from a distance, people could tell, maybe not specifically what was what, but their eye would be naturally drawn to the main subject and stuff like that. It's hard because it's easy to forget that. It's easy to forget to consider that. It's another reason I want to go back to university and finish my illustration degree. I need to remember to call BSU Because I signed up for their dumb little, sign up here for more information. And like nobody contacted me or anything. All it did is sign me up for a little generic website thing that had information you could find anywhere about the school. Like, this isn't what I wanted. I want somebody to look at the info I submitted to sign up for that site and then help me get back into school. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me what of my credits are still good or whatever. And nobody has contacted me. I gotta do it myself. It's like I already am being reminded of how even though they always advertise or whatever, but it's never, attending college is never as smooth as they try to make it sound. And it doesn't matter what college it is, they all have the same sort of problems. Yikes, this is a lot of blue. I don't want this much. Take some of this away. Spread it out, spread it out. This is what I wanted though. These were looking a little too clean. I think this makes the flowers match the Gryphon more, even though I'm not going to put any of this blue on the Gryphon, I don't think. All that uni stuff is a panic. It's such a pain. It's like, that's why I didn't finish my degree, because it was too hard. Back then I was working a full-time job that was also very often overtime, and even when it wasn't overtime, I was still working 12-hour shifts. And on top of that, they were always at night, and I'd get off work at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and it was insane. Like, I was literally losing my mind. I was like not able to cope at all. So I thought it would be better now that I don't have that obligation to deal with as well. But no, still have problems. Oh well, at least I'm used to it. It's like, it's nothing new. Aw, yeah, I like talking to artists too, because everybody has something different that they do, even if they work in the same media or have the same goals. Even if they're trying to do the same type of project or something together, everybody works a slightly differently, just because their experience is always going to be different, or what they find useful as far as techniques is different. You can always learn something new from your fellow artists. Like watching your digital streams, I never have worked that way in digital media, and I'm the only one I've ever seen work in digital media. I never started watching videos of that until I started streaming myself. So it's just like, oh wow, that is like, I just never thought of it that way. I think I work in digital media almost the way I work in physical media. And it is probably a better idea to treat digital media as its own thing. Not that I don't think of it as its own thing, but you know. And that's another thing where I just learned through self-teaching. Never had any sort of classes on it. I mean, I did have a digital art class in high school, but the problem was the teacher knew no more than I did, and I think I actually knew more because I had already been using these programs on my own to do fan art and stuff, so I'd already figured out a lot of the it was Photoshop, of course, and I'd already learned a lot of that stuff on my own. Dang it, I did these lines too harsh. I'll try to scrub them. Scrub them so maybe they will lighten up a little bit. I think it's working. Ooh, I love that little. It really shows the petal turning out. Yes, exactly. Composition and color theory. Yep. There's things that are universal, but how you deal with it, how you use those ideas, it's so individual. I think that's why art is so great. It doesn't matter how many times something has been done, someone else can always come along and do it differently. Oh yeah, in digital, the lighting, definitely. The lighting, you have to do so much planning in advance to get lighting really, it's like on physical media, once it's done, but if you want to add stuff on top and like make things shine, or I don't know, digital has such awesome capabilities. Wow, this blue looks really good on the purple. I've only seen it on the yellow so far. I keep getting too much because sometimes I put my brush in a more dry spot, and other times I put it in a more wet spot, which means that I get a lot more pigment on it than I expect. Oh, this is a perfect spot. This is the perfect spot for this blue, right here. Guess it helps if I get the area I want to work on wet first, and then I can spread it around better. Yes, yes, yes. Keep saying yes, but I'm just so pleased. I love adding blue or purple as a final detail thing because it just adds so much variety. Boop. Yeah, I barely need to touch the lead. To get enough pigment. Maybe this one will do. Oh goodness, soon started barking at something. You already barked once today. Earlier. I hope he's barking because there's a package. I like it when I get a package. Wow. You went through a phase where you planned the image out to accommodate having a light bulb behind it. So it looked odd until you turned on the lamp. That's a lot of planning. That's really cool too, actually. That is a cool technique. That's the kind of stuff that people would love to see in a gallery. Because you can't really appreciate that. Even if you took like a video of it, I feel like you couldn't appreciate something like that as much as when you could turn the light bulb on yourself and see the transformation, and you as the viewer was the one who caused the transformation. Yes, I'm so pleased. These flowers look so much better with the more variety in color. Oh yeah, that's clever. You should do that again. That would be something super cool. I don't know if you have a light table or something though, in order to make it work, but that would be a super cool thing to stream. Show not only the creation of such a piece, but also show it in action. Yes, this blue is so great on this purple. I really like it. Really like this blue color. So good, such nice variety. I'm just so happy I decided to do this. I really wanted to be done with the pencils, but I'm glad I continued and started adding this. Spread this out a little more if I can. Using silhouettes to complete a piece. What do you mean? I have an idea of what you might mean, but I'm not sure if I am imagining it correctly. And you can't even see this blue on the green. Oh, well now I can because I put too much pigment down. Ah, gotta be careful, gotta be delicate. I don't want it to be too noticeable. I want this to be like one of the last things that people notice. To be totally subconscious when they see it. Maybe not subconscious, but unconscious of it. I want people to be unconscious of it until they actively examine the piece. Oh, you discovered girls and it went all downhill from there. Well, there's always tomorrow. You can always try again tomorrow. Like, those sound like really cool ideas. I don't feel like I've heard of that. It's definitely not common. Composing images that way. How's that? Okay, how are we doing? I guess I didn't put any blue on. Oh, it would be perfect right here in this little spot. This isn't wet, is it? Nope. Right here. Dang it, sometimes it's drier and sometimes it's not, and then I get too much or not enough. But it's always better to get not enough pigment because you can always get more. And get too much, you have to try to quickly spread it out before it dries like that. Since this green is so dark, I really wouldn't mind more. Come on. There we go. Oh, you drew a man thinking on your wall. And then at night, you put your Newton's cradle swinging back and forth in front of him. So the shadow was casted onto the wall and the man on the wall. That's such a cool thing. That is such a gallery. That's such a gallery art thing. That's the kind of thing people love to go experience in person. So it's like you just can't appreciate that as much from a video or some other remote way of seeing it as you can just going and seeing it with your own two eyes. I feel like this needs to be toned down a little bit with some more blue. Just a little bit though. A little bit more, and then I think I'll be happy with these flowers. Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. This blue is working. Oh, I dropped my pencil. I mean my brush. Blue is working really good with the purple. This particular blue and purple go really well together. I'm almost flinging my brushes around. I did that yesterday too, I think. Or the day before. Okay, so I think that's enough extra stuff on the flowers. I still don't want to overwork anything. Your father got mad that you drew on the wall. Well, I can understand that. I can see that. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Just gonna add a little of this blue to the beak. Oh, good. So when he saw what you were doing, he wasn't mad anymore. But I think it has merit. It's not like I know some people as children cause destruction just to cause destruction. Not for any more intellectual or creative purpose. I guess I should put a little bit more around where this fluff on the nose is. Right here. There. Where else? Anywhere else but this? Maybe on this branch. It's kind of looking dull. A little variety with some blue. Color variety. And that looks really good with this gray for the branch, actually. Whew, my foot is feeling really cold from this ice pack. But what I've always been told is keep it on as long as you can stand it. And so I've got a sock on in between the ice pack and my skin, so I think it's fine. Anywhere else I want to put some blue? I'm going to put a little bit on the belly. Aw, thank you. I still remember that one time you sent a raid my way, and I was like, oh, what? My first raid. I was so happy. I wish I had lots of viewers so that I could raid you. It's kind of, it's tough because on the one hand, at least we can watch each other's streams or whatever, but yeah, it's, and then I also wish I had more time for everything, because I see so many notifications from the channels I followed. I'm like, man, I can't watch them right now, and like I missed it again, and I missed it again, and I missed it again, and I only have so much time. And then sometimes I get the notification that someone has started streaming, but I'm in the middle of uploading my YouTube recording, because I have at least one person who watches the recordings of these streams but never actually comes to the streams themselves, like live. And so that's important to me to get that uploaded every day. And if I'm in the middle of uploading that, I can't really watch a stream. I mean, I could try to watch it on my phone, but the app has never been very good for my phone with Twitch. I don't know what's up with that. Like, I always get kicked out of the chat room in the app, and I can't get back in unless I restart it from scratch. It's just so frustrating. It doesn't happen on PC, on my regular browser. Aw, thank you. You're always saying such nice things to me. Thank you. I really hope you're right. That's why I keep streaming every day, even when like nobody shows up, and I just try to always be hopefully interesting and not just quiet the whole time, so that if someone does pop in randomly, they won't feel awkward watching like a silent stream or something like that. So at first it was hard. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I did just like mostly just stream silently. Now I try to keep talking and nobody's there and I talk to myself for 2 hours. Then when I like go upstairs for my lunch and everything and I'm still talking to myself even though I'm not being recorded anymore. I think I'm done with the pencil. Yay! There's not really anything else I want to add with pencil. I don't want to overwork anything. That's been a problem for me in the past, and I don't want to do it. So, I mean, I do have like really nice color variety now on the flowers, and that was the biggest thing. They were sort of standing out to me in not a good way, because I did want them to stand out because of the contrast, but they were also standing out because it was just like pure yellow. But now it's not. It's got more variety. And that blue, seriously, it looks so good. I'm sure the camera doesn't show the difference. It's a subtle difference, but it looks really good with that purple. Alright, so, what time is it? Still have plenty of time. But I gotta take this ice pack off my foot in order to go get my stuff. I don't want to explode the ice pack. Oh man, you're on mobile right now. Yeah, what the heck is up with the app? I want it to work better. I don't want to be kicked out. And sometimes, when I'm like lurking, which I do fairly often, and I just sort of listen while I'm doing something else, and then I want to say something because something was said that I wanted to remark upon, and by the time you like restart the app in order to get in there and get back in the chat room, the conversation has already turned to something else, so it's like awkward to talk about that thing that had been the subject like several minutes ago. Especially when there's lots of different people talking in the chat. The subject just keeps jumping around and around. Unwrapping this ace bandage so I can walk on my foot. I need my metallic acrylic paint. I also need a knife, an X-Acto knife. I'm not sure, I think I'll use white gouache, so I need some of that. Oh, I'm glad you can tell the difference. My camera is just, when I see it, I'm like, man, does it look like I'm doing nothing to everyone else? Because, I mean, I guess it doesn't help that my monitor is also across the desk, so I can't see it very well when I'm over on this side. Okay, put this bandage together. There. Oh man, my foot is tingling now that it's unwrapped from the ice. Oh, thank you. The curvatures. I love getting detailed comments like that. Thank you for taking the time to really consider it. Because when people tell me specific stuff like that, then I know what people want to see or what they enjoy seeing. So then I can continue to use that or improve where I need to improve. Yeah, this piece in particular, actually, now that you mention it, curves ended up being a big part of it. I think it all comes down to the nest, because the nest is just round, and so like the Gryphon needed to fit inside, and then the flowers are nice and soft and round, and oh, awesome. I'm glad that you think it's a calm piece, and the Gryphon is in the safety of its home. That's exactly what I was trying to get across. I wanted it to feel warm and safe and like a home feeling. Like that's what the Gryphon is doing, is building its home and hoping to find someone to start some new little baby Gryphons with. Let's see, get out my paint here. Ooh. Oh, the whitewash is in here too. Acrylic. Payne's gray. No. Ooh, is this it? No, brown. Wow, that's so much stuff. What's this? This is watercolor. Where is it? You? You're yellow. Ooh. Yay. Okay, got that stuff. And I just need a knife. I'm gonna put my pencils away. Okay. Knife. Oh, thank you so much. A great visual storyteller. That's what I want to do. That is the biggest thing I want to do, is tell stories. Like, since I've been considering how to get back to school, finish my degree, and now since I don't have to worry about working full-time at the same time, I was thinking maybe I should just do a double major and have my other major be literature. Because the biggest thing I've ever continually thought of doing is writing a book and illustrating it myself. And I don't know what kind of book, whether it be a children's book or a novel or a collection of short stories or what, but thank you. That's such a big compliment for me. That's what I'm working on so hard all the time. That's my main goal. So let's see, this is called King's Gold. If this is what it is, I think that's a good color match. You know what though? I need a palette. Okay, take these off again. Oh, I'm tripping on my bag on the ground. I need to put that away properly, but not right now. Okay. Okay, so put in a little white gouache. This is another Art Snacks thing. So much of what I use now is just Art Snacks. Like, I've been subscribed for so long that I don't need to buy art supplies anymore. I don't think I've ever used this color. I guess it's a good idea. Monk, you definitely are more observant. Not even just more than the average, like, video viewer, but, you know, when people comment on my work on social media or DeviantArt or anywhere I post it, and it's like, I totally understand, but most people don't take the time to look closely at the details. And so, oops, even though they like the art and they compliment me, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate anyone who takes the time to look, even if only for a minute. But yeah, most people do not stick around long enough to notice the little details like that. Since I put so much effort into those details, that's why I appreciate it so much when someone like you comes along and notices all the effort I put in. Let's see. I'm going to start with the acrylic so it doesn't dry out. But I don't want it this thick. I want to, like, water it down. Because the way it is on the other piece, sort of like a varnish rather than the main thing. Just get more and more water in there. Make it really watery. Oh man, I just realized that by doing this first, I'm definitely going to have to change my water before I move on to the gouache, or else the gouache is going to have all kinds of sparkles in it. I'm going to have to wash my brush properly too. There we go. I think that's getting watery enough. Hopefully. You feel my pain. Yep, I think that my sister is an artist as well, and she also does a lot of meaning in her work, symbolic meaning, and she goes deep. She goes deep with the symbolism. And even I just flat out ask her, what is this? What does this mean? Why did you do this? Because it's like beyond me to recognize with a glance. But I love that in art. I love it when people put that effort into it. I'm thinking about why they're doing something the way they're doing it. Okay. You really don't want to get too much, so hopefully this isn't too much. No, I'm gonna make this section wet first and then put it down, and then that way it'll definitely be evenly applied. I learned my lesson from before. I'm working with the blue and I didn't do that, and I got a little bit too hard on some of these lines. There, nice and even. Reflecting it in the light to make sure I've got water everywhere. I want no dry patches. No dry, blah, 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 blah. No dry patches. I think it's already afternoon here. I think I might call it a day. Even though I got that gouache out, it's okay because it's watercolor, so it'll just dry overnight and I can... Oh man, I wish you could see how this looks. This looks so cool. It's like sparkling as it spreads out in the wet patch. It's like it's alive and moving on its own. Oh, this is so cool. I love metallic stuff. I love shiny stuff. I love doing the details at the end of a piece. It's so satisfying. Make sure it's got enough sparkles in every section. Yay! For my first piece, I got a metallic matte in order to, when I got it framed, in order to bring out the metallic in the border. So I'm definitely going to do that this time as well when I get this one framed. Oh man, I'm sure that the sparkles aren't showing up. They're so small. You just have to trust me. They look super cool. I love metallic paint. I love living in this day and age. You have such a thing as metallic paint. I wonder if I can sort of test out of, not test out, but if I show my portfolio with my work like this, which is what I consider my best work. This is me putting my all into a piece. I wonder if I can move on to higher level classes and just get credit for the lower level. That's why I need to talk to someone at the school, see what my options are. So I don't want to take classes for stuff that I already know. I want to go to school for the knowledge. So taking classes I already know everything, it's kind of a waste of time and money. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you couldn't see the sprinkles. I mean the sparkles. Why did I say sprinkles? Man, I'm hungry. Yeah, because it's almost lunchtime. Yeah, the sparkles, they are so fine and small. And then they won't show up in the digital version either, because whenever I scan it, it doesn't reflect light in a scan because the light is even the whole way through. Oh, yes. Let me do that now before I forget. I'll give you a link to my YouTube. Let's see here. There we go. Copy. Paste. Chat. Yeah, it doesn't have anything different than what I stream on Twitch. I just use it as a Twitch archive basically. I've considered getting into editing videos and making videos that aren't just me streaming. Oh, that's okay. I call it Mikarts. It's like, here, let me type it. There you go. It doesn't matter that much though, because I made it up. It's just a totally made up. I actually learned that some people do have the name Mikart, or it might be pronounced something different, like Mikart, which is what I originally was going to use, because my online alias has always been Mika, the Japanese name, because when I first started using the internet at like age 12, I was already wary of like internet predators or whatever, so I didn't use any of my real information anywhere, so I came up with my own name and everything. And now it's just my nickname. It's not just a way to conceal myself. It's just my nickname. So when I was trying to come up with a studio name, because I didn't just want to be like under my real name, that sounded kind of boring to me, I decided to put Mika and art together and make one word. But then when I started looking for a domain and stuff, someone already had it, Mikarts, and it's like a, I can't remember for sure, but I have this feeling like it was like a medical supplies company or something. I was like, I'm not going to compete with that. So that's what I put the S on the end, because arts is also another thing, so it became Mikarts. So it's just all made up. It's not that, the pronunciation's not that big of a deal. Oh, thank you for the subscription to my YouTube. If you have one, you can send me the link too, and I will add you if I haven't already. I don't remember. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for, I don't know, all the great comments and the great chat we've had today. Like, the time has flown because you were here chatting with me all day. You're welcome for streaming. I'm really happy that someone appreciates it. Okay, just got 3 more border sides to go. Ah, this gold is looking great. It looks great with this color of pencil I chose too. I'm really pleased about that because I wasn't sure. It was actually kind of an experiment, these 2 colors together. I did not test it out beforehand. Make sure this whole area is wet, and then put down our sparkles. Sparkles glitter. They're so small, I don't know if it counts as glitter. Yeah, it's more like, it's like shimmer. The way it spreads out is so cool. It's been so long since I made my last piece like this that I don't remember whether or not this is how it worked last time, because I think I used a different brand of metallic paint last time. Ooh, I'm gonna take a little bit of this away. A little bit much down. Now even it all out. Yay! Yep. This makes it all worth it. All the struggle with motivation and just like wanting to give up, even though that was also a struggle. The idea of giving up was just as hard as the idea of forcing myself to push on. This is the reward, and it's a good reward. Okay, get a little bit of paint. Spread it out. So shiny. So golden. And I remember now the reason why I don't want it to be too thick is because I don't want to lose the black ink lines at all. I want those to still be as clear. So if I were to do this paint and nothing else, like no water in it, if I didn't thin it out, it would completely cover up the lines. My water bowl is all golden and shiny. Everything is golden and shiny. Okay, 2 done, 2 to go. Well, this one I have to do. I just realized I missed a little spot. Right over here. I'm gonna be super careful. It's not very much area to spread in the shiny. Hopefully that's enough. There. And do this side too. There. And if I don't hurry, I'm gonna miss my lunchtime again. I guess it's better to miss lunch because I was working hard on a important project than for some other reason. A little bit of golden. And it'll be great someday when I can get a much better camera, webcam or whatever, and maybe it would actually be able to pick up this kind of thing. So this is really cool. This is really cool for me to watch. Sparkles spread out. And it's shining away. Oh, more than half done on the border. Might put some extra hours into this today outside of streaming, just so I can get it done sooner rather than later. So the sooner I can get this finished and framed, then I won't have to worry about having something ready to submit to the fair once the entry period begins. And then I can start on my next one of these, because my original plan was to have one of these done every month, so that by the end of last year I had all 12 finished. And like here I am, and let's see, it's the 7th month, so 1 year 7 months over 1.5 years, and I'm still not done with two of these 12 illustrations. Okay, so I'll do this section and then the little one. Do them separately. Wolfax 2, welcome back! Hi! I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? I'm so lucky today. So many old Twitch friends are visiting me. Not that I've been on Twitch for that long, but still. It's nice to see a familiar name. Got even. Okay. And then get the shiny gold. Spread it out. Spread out the shiny golds. I need a little more water. Busy with life and work, huh? That's how it always goes. Everything is always so busy. Even when I'm like having fun, I'm so busy, and sometimes I just have to have a day where I don't do anything at all. No plans, no nothing, and the day just slips by and I don't even know what I did. I'm doing pretty good. Coming to terms with the fact that I really do have to take a real break from my normal physical activities like going on a daily walk and going to the gym for my classes, because my foot, it's been so many months and it's just not healing. So I'm kind of annoyed. I'm annoyed by that because I don't want to not do that stuff. I have fun with that stuff, but so I was wearing an ice pack most of this stream today, wrapped to my foot, but then I had to get up and get this metallic paint and these other things, and so I couldn't walk on the ice pack, so I had to take it off. Now I've got my foot wrap back on, but no ice pack. Oh, my foot is still cold. I still feel the cold even though it's in a slipper and stuff, so maybe it's still working. That would be good. I'm just going to do everything I can to heal up, do what everybody's told me, including my doctor, and do it diligently every single day so that I can get back to my stuff that I like to do. Like roller skating on Sunday and all this stuff. So I just keep thinking of that. It's kind of like a dark cloud over my head, like I'm fine, but I'm just kind of annoyed by that prospect. Well, one of my friends, when I wrote about it on Facebook to lament, she knew what I was thinking, that in the meantime, since I have this extra time that I'm not doing this active stuff, I can work on art, or I can watch anime or whatever, play a game. Like, yeah, I do have a stack of games. It's been calling out to me. And I can also put a little more time into this piece and the other pieces in this series, hopefully. That's what I'm thinking. Of course, I always need a break. I just need a mental break from these big pieces. I can't work on them all in one huge go. I've done it in the past when I was in a rush, but it's like intense. Like I remember working like 12 hours on a painting, and I was using the Pomodoro or whatever, anyway, that timer method where you like work for 20 minutes and then you take a break, a 5-minute break, and then you work for 20 minutes. And I mean, it worked. I won first place in the category I submitted the art to then, so that technique did work for me, but it's hard. I can't do anything else. Just one track mind, focused on that. I don't know if that's healthy for me. Not sleeping, not exercising, not eating properly. I think live streaming has been really good because it helps me work on something evenly. instead of having one big marathon session and then not wanting to look at it for like months on end. Instead, I work on it every day for a couple hours, and before I know it, I'm almost done with it, like I am today with this piece. Oh, it's too bad this doesn't show up. Sparkles doesn't show up. It makes sense that it wouldn't show up on this inexpensive camera, but yeah, I'll move it back and forth just in case you can see a little highlight. It looks so cool. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with how the colors work together, because the Inktense pencil, I just didn't know. I didn't know if that shade would be good with this color, and I wasn't even sure what color of metallic I would pick. But it seems perfect to me. And also, I'm really happy with how it looks with these stones too. I almost feel like it makes them brighter and more vivid, because they were looking kind of dark and almost ominous before I put color on the border. Okay, I only have 5 minutes until lunch, so I think I may as well call it good here, even though I got a little gouache out. I'll just let that dry and I'll use it tomorrow. No, wait, tomorrow's Chibi Friday, so I'll use it on Monday. Or I might use it off camera. We'll see. So I'm gonna call it a day here. And thank you, Stressed Out Monk and Wolfax2, for joining me in the chat. It's always so great to be able to talk to someone while I'm working. Whether I'm talking to someone in person or on the live stream like this, I really appreciate it, because it can get really tedious working on something like this without something to distract me just a little bit. So thank you for joining me. And everyone else, thank you for watching.